once we kick off recording. Alrighty. Excellent. Okay, so we're just doing a quick constitutional true or false here. The first two, I'm coding the answers that are true in green. The Constitution of Australia has a special status. It cannot be changed in the same way as other laws can be changed. That's true, yes. Other laws can be amended by Parliament through the normal legislative process. The Constitution needs a referendum, a successful referendum to change. And the Australian Constitution certainly does override other laws. That's also true. Look at section 109 for that one. Now, Justin just got this correct. If Parliament passes a law that the Australian Constitution may not allow, an individual can bring a case to court, called it a constitutional challenge. Yeah. This is what I'm doing by way of a lecture as well, people. So, okay. What about this one? Number 4, an individual can bring a case to the High Court even if they're not directly affected by the legislation or the law that they want to challenge, that they are alleging is unconstitutional. True or false? Yeah. Yes. Team, you're absolutely smashing it. It is false. Yep. In order to bring a constitutional challenge, maybe, in order to bring a constitutional challenge, a person needs to have what's known as standing. So they need to be close enough to the issue to establish that they are directly affected, okay? You can't just have any Joe Blow rocking up. Yes, Ace.
How many people are currently in the class that are not doing a SAC?
I don't know.
Like 3 or 4?
Yeah, there's a number.
Would you say that like those 3 or 4 people would be like in the top sort of like 10% of the class or like top 5% because there's only a few of them?
For the purpose of getting a green compass?
Yeah.
No, absolutely. Yes, I would.
Emmy, I need this.
Yep, Ace, I appreciate
green compass as well.
I appreciate that. Hey, team. Yes, I know. I've been sloppy on the green
If you don't give me a green compass, I'll give you a red compass.
Okay. All right, team. Thank you. I don't generally get that for threats. So could we just lock into this for the next bit? And I'm totally amenable to that. Anyways, yes, as I was saying, you got to have standing. What about number 5? I'm impressed with your work, by the way, people. Okay, how's that for validation? The High Court makes its decision based on what Parliament says it should do, true or false? I'm not even presenting my screen now. How about that? Okay. Yes, it's false. Okay, remember our courts are not political entities, so they should not be making decisions that are politically motivated. Okay, they're not beholden to Parliament. They do what they, they decide cases using, their professional judgment and other case law. So, yep, that's false. If the High Court determines that a law passed by Parliament conflicts with the Constitution, they can rule it invalid. This means that the law no longer exists. True or false? True or false, people?
True, maybe.
Oh, good thinking, but this is actually, it's actually false. And this is something that trips students up very regularly by the time we get to Unit 3. If the High Court rules that a piece of legislation is unconstitutional, so the first bit's true, they can rule that it's invalid, but it doesn't mean that the law just goes and doesn't exist. It means that it has to go back to Parliament to be amended, because ultimately Parliament are still the supreme lawmakers, but they do need to take this advice seriously and actually do something about it, so there's no unconstitutional laws hanging about. Then we've got the final question. The Constitution can easily be changed by Parliament. True or false? Come on, team, you know this now. Yes, Ace, and why is that? Yes, Ahmed?
Because there has to be a referendum.
Absolutely.
And the majority of states and majority of people have to both agree.
Majority of voters in the majority of states is the second criteria. Excellent work, Ace. That's solid green compass.
Green compass.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think so. Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. Well, hopefully you've marked your responses now. Good work, people. I don't really, yeah, we probably don't have time to go into this much depth about actually, I'm curious to hear what you have to say. To what extent does the Australian Constitution protect human rights? Do you think it's, and I'm going to give you a scale. I'll give you a couple of words. You've got to a kinda, yeah. You've got down the bottom, you've kind of got to a limited extent. You've got some extent hanging out in the middle, and then a significant extent towards the top of the scale. Pick one of those and drop it in the chat. What are we thinking? If we're talking, yeah, more or less, so then which of those quantitative terms are you going to use? Quantitative terms, I should say. Limited, some, significant. Someone who is after a green compass would comply with this instruction. Yes, Lockie. Yep. Limited or some or significant. Yep. Okay, thanks for choosing a word. Now, note this down for yourself. It is very hard to argue that it satisfies being a significant extent, because we know we only have 5 express rights and then one implied right and a couple of structural protections. The Constitution is not, in fact, a robust shield for human rights at all. Out of the 5 express rights, there's only one that's really human rightsy anyway. And what is it? Yeah, I would say some. Which is the most human rightsy of the 5 express rights that we talked about yesterday? The interstate discrimination one is actually kind of esoteric and weird. So good thinking, but no, it was something to do with religion. Can't make laws about what? Yes, exactly. Freedom of religious expression and the inability for Parliament to make a state religion, basically. That's our most human rightsy right in the text of the Constitution. All the other ones are, okay, but they're kind of a bit weird and sort of stuck in the time capsule from 1901 when it was first landed on. So I would say that some extent is probably a safe way to case an answer about evaluating how effective or how robust the Constitution is as a form of rights protection. Okay, now I'm going to set you up to do the rest of the class independently, and then you can go forth. And in order to get a green compass, you need to complete all these tasks. How about that? That's an absolute guarantee from me. So there's only 2 tasks.
Emmy, are you saying that I just didn't need to do that extracurricular work for a green compass? You're just giving him out now?
Ace, I'm recording this for the other students, so can you just hold your thoughts for now? We can talk about them in just a sec. But I need you to watch this video about the Constitution and then add some additional notes to the new information section on either the spreadsheet, if you're a spreadsheet person, or your digital workbook, if you're a digital workbook person. That will take you approximately 4 minutes to do. Then there is this chart for you to just have a look at, the 3 ways that the Constitution protects rights. All of that's covered in much more detail in the student slides. And finally, there is a menu task to end the day. And you've got over half an hour to get this done. I've said you need to get to at least 40 points worth of questions. So everyone claim a slide, pop your name here, and then fill this out with your responses. Easy peasy. Now, I appreciate that you will want to get out of here and get going. So everyone who is not currently resitting the sack, who won't leave because we're hopefully on mute, stay with me. But if you need to get out of here and get this done, get going. And I promise you, green compasses will abound thereafter. But if you have a look, there's a big copy of the menu task. It's a couple of 10-pointers here that are just basic describes and defines. Then there's a little bit more rigor asking you to look up one unsuccessful referendum. So first task is just this one, slide 10. And then the application starts from slide 14. So choose a slide, claim that slide, and then get on with that. Yeah, awesome. So once you know what you need to do, get on out of here and get going, I'm just going to stop recording so that you can ask me some questions